So anyways, earlier in the conversation, you were saying that you would call off the engagement if the man was not willing to share his checking account with you. So that would mean if he was unwilling to share essentially his financial status with you. So why not couldn't I just put the argument back on you and say, well, that's not really any of your business to know his financial situation?
That when you're in a family and you're a couple, you're one. And so if you don't want to be one. Now, if my husband came to me and said, I want to know, I would feel very uncomfortable about it. And I would tell him because I love him and we've been together for 10 years. And I would admit where it was. But he's never said that to me. He's never been worried about that.
And can you just restate, so you said that it would indicate that restate what your position was about body count. It would show that they don't love you. I forgot exactly.
I would think
that's why I'm
would be
asking you to restate
kind of rude. Like if you love the person, you love them for where they're at right now, regardless of their past.
Okay.
So why would he care right now?
Maybe he's just curious and just like, I just want to know. Like
Yeah.
the type of woman that
And I
you
would
were.
hate to have to say that because to me it's embarrassing and I don't like that at all.
Well, I wonder in a scenario where you were dating somebody, and what was the engagement question here?
It was if you were engaged and they made $200,000 for
and they didn't want to share their.
They didn't want to have a joint checking account.
And you're engaged.
How is that relevant to the other?
Well, it's relevant in that if you were engaged to a woman and she didn't want to reveal her body count because her body count could reveal a certain number that you would not be comfortable following through with the engagement, I think it's totally relevant.
Well, I think I don't agree with you on that because, first of all, once you're already engaged, you kind of love each other in a way, right? And then the money issue, everybody has different family situations, and woman and a man sometimes have different roles. And if a man has, specific things they're asking of a woman, then everybody, I'm just saying that it's not like
okay,
so
so
black
here's the
and
scenario.
white.
You're engaged to a woman, but then you find out, like a month before the marriage, that she has a body count of 50. I think that would be perfectly acceptable pretext if the man had an issue with it to call off the engagement.
Yeah, and
How
I think
long have they been
everybody
together? How do they?
2 years.
Well,
Let's just say 2
let
years.
me say
2 years.
something. I think you have a choice. You either decide past is in the past, and then you move forward, and then that would have no relevance into the relationship for the future issues. You can't fault someone for that if you choose to decide that past is in the past, and then you accept person for what they are now because people can grow and change and whatever. But it's up to you. You can make a choice or you can decide not to. So I think, people have free will to decide that.
Plus, your financial state, when you're engaged, that has room to change. It can fluctuate. You can lose your job and have no money now. When you were originally engaged or married, you were making 6 figures or plus or 200K, whatever the case may be, but your body count is never going to change unless you cheat, which hopefully you don't do that in a marriage or an engagement.
Or in a relationship in
I mean,
general.
it's good context to know your partner's history just so that you know who you're with, but I don't think in any way you should let that deter you if you think that as long as they're not a cheater. I feel like that's more to me. I would rather know, has this man or woman or person cheated on their spouse more so than I would be concerned about what they did when they were single. If you're single and you're having sex with as many people as you want to have sex with, consenting adults, that's totally reasonable and fine. If you're a cheater in your past relationships, that's more of a red flag to me than if you were single and slept with a girl at the bar.
And by the way, my second husband made a third of what my first husband made. And he's doubled his income since we've been together.
Exactly.
Right.
That's
And
always
so-
has
It's
room
the
to
same
change.
with my stepdad. My stepdad broke his neck in Hollywood and then moved up, and then now he's a successful painter with my mom. So it all just depends.
Point being that I love my husband for my husband. It was never about anything else.
Okay, so what was your original comment that you made?
About?
You said if my husband came to me and asked me.
I would tell him I'd be embarrassed and ashamed, and I would actually apologize because I feel terrible about it. It was a very dark time in my life. but he's never asked me.
But you said it would be what?
Well, I don't know. I just think asking people their body count is just not polite.
Not
It's just
polite.
in general not polite.
Okay.
But if
At any point in the relationship?
Well, if that matters to you, it should come out at the very beginning. If that is what's important to you, then
What
ask
if it doesn't, though?
Well, then it's not that important.
Well, maybe though you have it doesn't occur to you to ask because perhaps you've made some assumptions because the woman's been carrying herself in a way that would maybe indicate that she doesn't have a high body count, but maybe she does.
But I think he already has a clue because he signed into my email account and all my contacts downloaded into his phone, and he looked at them and saw.
Wait. I'm talking in generalities here. I'm not talking about your specific situation.
Yeah, in general, I think if that is important to you, then you better ask that at the get-go.
So it would not be rude to ask it on the first date then?
No.
Okay.
If that's what's important to you, because then you know who you're about to be with.
Okay.
On both sides.
Because I've heard women say
agree.
the exact opposite. They say that it would be kind of weird and rude to ask that on the first date.
It would be
Well,
weird.
it would be weird and rude, but if that's important to the guy, then he better get it out in the open right away so that we can just either get out of here and be done with it or let's work through this.
It's all about transparency.
Yeah.
And then but it would be rude later down the road in the relationship.
Yeah,
Maybe he
once
never
you
thought
start
to ask.
building a relationship, well, and like I said, you need to get it out there. Like when I was dating, I dated divorced guys. I would flat out ask them on the first date, what is your part in your divorce?
What is your what in the divorce?
Your part.
Like,
okay.
And my daughters are like, you were not that blunt. I said, oh, yes, I was, because if they can't handle that, they're not going to handle anything else about me.
Also, I think in reality, if you're really in love with somebody, you will work through all the
Right.
issues. I don't think it's reality saying, "Oh, I'm engaged to this person because I love them," and then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
this one thing new thing comes out. I think it's not realistic that people are just gonna call it off so fast. You know,
I would have no objections if it was even the wedding day. If it was even the wedding day, the man found out that, she had a massive body count.
What's a massive body count? Just curiosity.
I mean, it
Just-
depends on age, it depends on the
That's so valid.
individual, but
Valid.
I think once you start getting, I think a lot of men would say over 10 is getting into high body count territory range.
I would agree with that.
Over 10.
I would agree.
Over 20, I think there's, without a doubt, that
a
would,
lot.
most people, I'd say the vast majority of men would agree, over 20 certainly would be high body count.
I would agree with that.
But your answer, I guess we were going around on, would you object to a man caring about a woman's body count to the point that he would date or not date her because of it?
No, I wouldn't object to that.
Wouldn't object?
No.
no.
No objections, okay. For those of you who said that body count doesn't matter, or you do perhaps object to a man caring about it, we'll just go around, what's everybody's body count? We heard from Elle, you said it was around 150 to 200?
Yeah, around 100 to 150, yeah.
Okay, we'll start with you, then go around this way, go ahead.
I couldn't tell you, probably 100 or something.
Please, into the mic.
Probably like, I'd say 100.
Okay,
Their round meatball donated $200. Brian is right in every
shit.
way here.
yo, thank you, bro. Dude, I haven't seen you in a while, son.
He's a
Welcome back.
brave and a decent man. He's a pioneer.
Yo, Mr. Meatball, good to see you in the chat, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, bro. Thank you, Mr. Meatball. What kind of meatballs? Turkey meatballs? What kind? Okay, all right. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. In the hundreds, okay. What about you?
Less than 5.
Okay,
So I've counted since the last time, and it's 9.
okay. Well, you answered right.
Yeah.
150 to 200.
100 to 150.
Oh, okay. All right.
Not that extra 50 really matters. I mean, we're already in the hole.
Sure. All right. What about you?
Less than 5.
Okay. Well, you in your pre-show notes, I think you provided it. You
I-
said you
did.
were previously a sex addict with a bot.
Mm-hmm.
You did provide it in the notes. I think. You want me
I
to
did.
say it? I can say it. I'll say it. I can say it.
You could say it to them. I just wouldn't.
He's a
really
brave
want it.
Whoops, sorry. That was my bad. Okay.
I
wouldn't-
don't. I really don't want it out there, but
But okay, you.
it's fine, Brian. I don't care. This is kind
This
of
was pre-show.
This is
You provided this in the pre-show
kind of
notes.
my mea culpa, anyways, to kind of just stop being ashamed of what I did and kind of letting it go.
Well, I'll let you say it.
So it's
I'll let you say it then.
it's over 50.
Okay. That's fine. Cool. And you did say you were previously a sex addict, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. What about you?
1.
1? Okay.
Less than 5.
All right. Less than 5. Cool. All right. Less than 5. Cool.